Hi guys, Flightsky here. In today's video we are at County Crossing once again and we are finishing our Brahmin branch. Let's get into it. So this place definitely spiraled out from what I originally intended it to be. It turned out to be a bit bigger, a bit more interesting, and I just kind of want to do some finishing touches today, which will involve a water purifying station. So my plan is to put like a silo in here. The idea being that at some point it has ended up flooding the place, so that's what's caused all of that water to be there rather than just being a random puddle. And I'm going to throw down some watchtowers over there and over here, and that should probably give us the last little bits that we need before we can make a start on this being a real settlement. Right, so what I've done is I've grabbed two of the water silos from CVC. So one of them is the main one with the pump on, and there's like an add-on which just has the actual silo. And I figured since this is kind of, it's broke down, so we've got a bit of a flood going on, put up a bunch of like construction stuff, safety things, you know, just kind of make it look like it's being repaired. And we've got debris floating in the water there, just as a little added bonus, we'll say. But it adds that little element of storytelling to the place. I'd always found it really weird that County Crossing has half of this puddle in its build area. Like, it just makes it really awkward to actually build something around, so figured silos breaking down, and there we have it. Just going to add a few more decorations to this little area, then we'll move on to the watchtower. If you've been enjoying the video so far, guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Now I'm going to start building a little watchtower on this corner of the settlement. I kind of have to make sure I don't go too high because it'll hit the tree, and it's not a great deal of space to work with, so it'll be fairly simple structure. Alright, I believe I've got something that I quite like the look of. It's pretty simple. We've got a few bridges out the front of it, so you come up steps and you've got the bridge making like a little balcony area so you can actually see across the settlement on the inside. And if we come up, we've got these walls from, I believe it's called New Shack walls. Gives us a nice view over there, and then you can obviously just pop your head out along here, and you can obviously see all the way across as well. Get some nice cover to the shop down there as well, in case there's any troublemakers. And I'm gonna go to the other end now and build the last watchtower. I'm gonna build this last watchtower on this corner, just between the steakhouse and the barracks. It'll be fairly small, but it will give us a nice bit of protection from this end. The watchtower turned out a little bigger than I was expecting, but it did have a happy little accident with it. The post that was on the outside of the settlement has obviously collapsed, and it looks like it's being supported by the actual structure, which does add a little bit more to the build. And I used bits from Thematic and Practical to give it a bit more of a different shape, so it's not two squares, it's like the weird shapes that are in Thematic and Practical, and this doesn't even like block the view at all. It kind of all just fell, no pun intended, fell together nicely. Alright, the last little bit that I want to do is a bit of farming area, nothing too fancy. So I'll just kind of sit here, and then we'll sprinkle in some decorations and finish off with the final tour. So we are now fully done with County Crossing. Looks a lot more well fortified than it did when we first arrived, but it has a decent economy, selling every bit of the Brahmin. We've got our fortifications up with a couple of guard towers, we've got a stall that we can sell stuff, and we also like visitors, so we have our steakhouse. Nothing goes to waste with these Brahmins. Okay, so we're gonna come on in to the settlement, and you can't access the steakhouse from the inside, so even people that live here will have to go through the main entrance. Greet by a guard as we come in. We've got our little storehouse on the side. Nothing much changed for this one since the last video where we actually built this. Just make sure that the workbench is still there. Yep, it is. And if we come across, we will get to the stall. You can see we're well protected. We've got the spotlights up there. The stall now has its own sort of protection, just in case anybody is up to no good. We don't have to always rely on the guards up the top. So I figured place down like a workbench so it looks like parts of it are still under construction. We'll come up the stairs. Just got a very simple living area for the guards that'll be manning this post. Great view of the settlement surroundings. And if we come back down, we have a lot of the old vending machines. And we have our little, is it called a stable? We'll stick with barn. Brahmin just feed in here, and we also store a bunch of the stuff that we get from them. And our little side business up here, we have our jet lab. And they get to watch what's happening down there. They've also got a good view to make sure nobody is coming to bust them. And got a nice little view from up here of our water silos. So this is very much under repair, and people repairing it decided to be a bit funny and sprinkle the place with the flamingos there. So we come along here, we can fix any issues with it, but we do have a bit of a flood happening. The abattoir we did in the last video, just once the Brahmin have been used for all their milk, we can bring them across here and use them for their meat. We've got a pretty simple gardening, farming area. Got a few people working on the crops there, and that guy's missing place. Our generator powering the whole settlement. It's looking a bit more cluttered in here now. Plenty of equipment and storage going on in here. the bunkhouse is where most people will stay. It's a fairly decent living area for them. Got the kitchen and dining room, and we have enough beds for 8 workers. Not a bad way to make your caps in the wasteland, really. And up in the corner we have our guard station. We've got turrets just propped up there. You get a really good view into Boston itself. You can take a look just every direction from here. Even just standing out here, the big guards situated out here, I'll be able to look out. And I'm just going to use the employee entrance into the steakhouse. So nothing much has changed in here. Do we have anybody using the place at the moment? No, we're nice and quiet. Usually gets a bit more busy on an evening, but it does give people a chance to see what's happening if you lived on the ranch. We'll finish it off with the main house. This is where people will stay and just make sure that the place is well maintained. So when my guy's not here, somebody else is running the show. But he makes sure everyone is comfortable, and even though there is a dining area in the bunkhouse, people are welcome to come in here and actually celebrate being able to make a decent living in the wasteland. And we've got the bedroom up here for the guy that runs the place. But that's going to be it for County Crossings Brahmin Ranch. Hope you've enjoyed this smaller build series, and I hope to see you next week when I start building my bridge town in downtown Boston. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.